Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest. We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it? He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Yo, what's good? Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Sunday. Well, damn, I said Sunday. Excuse me. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm not in a hurry for the weekend to be over with. My bad. I hope all is well with each and every single one of you. If you was here with me earlier, salutes to you. I've been waiting to jump back on this one for a while. I did a reaction video to it, but I felt like it deserved a longer discussion. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, etc., producers, artists. Next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I am holding an event, a special stream. It's going to be solely for artists, poets, so on and so forth. We're just going to have a good time, kick back, listen to some good music, see some decent performances, maybe network, maybe you might connect with somebody that you like up there. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But the whole idea is just to unwind and forget about the troubles of the world sometimes. There's always some shit that's going on that we can't deal with, like stuff be out of your control sometimes, but Druski, this gentleman here, he's I'd say he's fairly successful for what he does. My personal take, it's not really my thing, but again, there's something for everybody. There's people who do skits, there's people who do comedy, there's people who do roast me sessions, there's people who take a more serious approach to their content. I'm not really that invested in the brother, but this particular situation, it caused a reaction that I thought was interesting, because you have some folks who don't really find it funny. Then you have some people who just straight up, they just don't have really too much to say. It's like, is this a joke? Is this supposed to be funny? Or is this supposed to be some form of racist jargon between black people trying to count? Like, it's always something. At this particular point, you can't really do anything or say anything anymore about people crying or being overly sensitive. So what I'm going to do, I got 3 clips. The first one I'm going to play is basically the issue at hand. The second clip I'm going to play is what got people pissed off. It's mostly white people that's pissed off. They don't like the fact that he did this shit. But I digress. Let's bring this up on the big screen really quick. Give you some further context, because you might not even know who he is. Like, I really didn't know who he was.
Comedian Druski is under fire for cosplaying a racist NASCAR fan. The popular Atlanta comedian painted his entire body white and completed the look with a mullet, American flag cowboy hat, a pair of overalls, and American. Many people feeling conflicted due to his portrayal of racism against a couple of black men. So have you seen it? What do you think? Be sure to let us know.
All right. There's folks that want that brother canceled. There's people who want him off of TV. There's people who are in their feelings. Quite frankly, I didn't see anything wrong with this. But y'all need further context, and that's cool. I'm going to provide you with said context. What I'm going to bring up next is the actual clip that got people in their feelings and pissed off and triggered. See, there's a point in time where we have to decide what is to be taken serious and what is just a joke. We can't lighten up at all. Everything has to be serious. You can't even go to a comedy club no more without somebody getting in their feelings. Everybody is crying. Everybody wants to police your words. Everybody wants to police your thoughts. The second you say something that's meant to be funny, but it's got a lot of dark humor to it, they want to come for you. They want you gone. Freedom of speech is already in jeopardy. It's like, damn. What do you think all of these sketches are? What do you think is going on every time we turn on SNL, Saturday Night Live, or Jimmy Kimmel? What would comedy be if we didn't have Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, Richard Pryor? It's a long list. My point is, what are we doing? How do you unblur the lines and make it so people aren't confused or conflicted about what is a joke and what isn't. No, racism is not funny. There's no doubt about that. But what's the issue with having a sense of humor? Now, there's things that he does that I really don't think is really entertaining. I don't think the shit funny at all. Like stereotyping people and having a mixture of different races on your platform to compete for this bullshit love and all. I think that shit is tacky as hell. But again, I digress. This is the video right here that I want you to see. Hold on. All right, there we go. This is even a short one. This ain't even the full clip, but this shit triggered people too. Hold up. Let me get this back up here real quick. Would you be upset if someone dressed up in a whole costume and cosplay as a racist white person and pulled it up to you? What would you do in what would you do in this situation?
No, I'm going to the race. What race? NASCAR race. You going to NASCAR? Yes, sir. A little bit. You ain't lost, did you? No, I'm good. I'm going to the race, sir. Sure about that? Yes, sir. Find something safe to do, boy. Hey, you lost.
What's your opinion? Is he doing too much? Is he being offensive? Is that worth being triggered over? Is that worth bringing the pitchforks out and the stakes? Is that worth going and hanging people? Are you willing to crash out over somebody cosplaying and being funny? Like when they did the whole blackface thing, was nobody happy about that shit. The black culture was pissed. Everybody was triggered. Nobody found that humorous. Maybe a small minority, but most people didn't care. They wanted that shit to stop. Straight up. Straight up. Just remember, like, it wasn't that long ago. Everybody was doing blackface for Halloween. They were doing blackface in commercials. They were doing blackface on ads. They were doing it in skits. Everybody and their mama was mad. They wanted anybody who had something to do with that shit canceled. Why? Why were people so bothered by it? Because to the majority, that was a slap in the face. That was white people disrespecting black people and pretty much telling you, look, this is what we really think of y'all. We're gonna treat you just like the joke that you are. That's how most black people thought of it. It was like we're just taunting you right in your face. Did we have a reason to feel angry? Did people have a right to feel triggered, to feel bothered by white men and women putting on a black blackface and pretending to. Yeah, you absolutely had a reason. You absolutely had a right to feel some type of way. Why wouldn't you? There's a thin line between having dark humor and actually being patronizing and condescending. I love dark humor, but there's still some lines that I will not cross. There's just some shit that I cannot laugh at. When blackface was a thing, nobody was having it. Not a single soul. Y'all was ready to crash out. Every white person was a target. I'm not mad at anybody for being upset about that. You know how much shit, how much history is behind it? And I bring that up because Druski is known for doing goofy shit. Comedians talk about racism all the time. Most of their success comes from drawing from the experiences of reality. So when Druski does it, there are a group of people who aren't really happy about it. Should we care? Should we just say, I don't give a fuck if you care about this shit or not, my nigga? Y'all been fucking around with us since the beginning of time. Been envious, been jealous. You've been hanging us. You've been doing everything under the sun to mock us and to keep us suppressed on this planet. Why would I have any? I think it's my honest opinion. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. But I'm older. And there's some things now that shouldn't be made a joke. And I don't know if this is the right time to be playing around like that. We need sense of humor. Like, we can't be around here all bitter and upset and dragging our feet all day. Like, come on, man. I don't want to be around nobody bitter and miserable all day. Send me dark humor videos, please. I want to laugh. Fuck that. But for a group of people who spent majority of their history tormenting us, getting enjoyment and pleasure out of beating us and raping our women, and the shit is like, come on, man. It don't make no sense. I'll never understand how adults could be so childish but pretend to be something more than what they actually are. You're a grown ass man and a grown ass woman trolling, and don't you got something better to do? Now, for all the changes and for all the things that we want to do as far as elevate as a culture, there's just some stuff that we have to start reevaluating. One of the things that I have an issue with content creators like Druski is while you're antagonizing and making fun of certain cultures and certain like things that the people celebrate and make look like it's something that it isn't, it doesn't really help. It doesn't put Black people in a better light. It doesn't make things better or worse. All you're really doing is egging on and antagonizing. I know the stereotypes exist. I see them all the time. I witness them all the time. Black people killing Black people. White people killing Black people. White people killing white people. The ghetto shit. The fucking pop your balloon shows with the most ratchet people that you ever have on TV. Every time you see a man or a woman on most of these shows, they're either showing their ass off, making a mockery of themselves, or they're doing something that makes the rest of the community look foolish. Never fails. Just like, all right, you want to address police brutality, or you want to address or try to at least combat certain ignorance that you see constantly in our face on social media. But on the flip side, you make a profit off of highlighting all of the retarded, ridiculous ignorance that stems from that said negative culture. So you want to make money off of it, but you also want to act serious and talk serious about it. Am I tripping? Like, seriously. I think I'm pretty reasonable about my assessments. Like, I'm very observant. Very observant. At this particular time in life, at this age, the things that we find pleasant and enjoyable should not be pleasurable or enjoyable. Trolling is not it. You're not funny. You're not cute. Nobody's impressed. You're not contributing. You're not making anything better. Going underneath people's comments, saying random nonsense that has nothing to do with the topic does not make me or break me. It does not add or contribute to the solution to nothing that we got going on. I don't know who people think they are out here in the world. I don't know if you're miserable. I don't know if you're bitter. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, you've been spoiled all your life. Like, at some point in life, we got to grow up. I'd be damned if I'm 50, 60 years old, still on the internet playing this race war thing. Let's go ahead and get the neighborhood together. Let's start creating protests. Let's start having men and women that are knowledgeable about certain laws, Let's get together and start addressing our grievances accordingly. But we keep on feeding the machine. We keep on feeding these platforms by basically saying, look, you can talk all the stupid shit you want. You can be the biggest troll in the world. You can harass as many people as you want. You can say the most racist shit out your mouth if you want. Dance naked for all I care. Be a monkey up here. Go ahead and be loud and obnoxious. Go ahead and have a bunch of grown adults stripping and shaking their ass for the community. Go ahead and promote hillbillies and racism, and go ahead, do all that. Go ahead. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I'll sit here. I will feed the algorithm every single negative thing that you can offer me, as long as I enjoy it. Say what you want about me, but what does it say about us when we talk about we want better, but we are allowing people to profit off of pain, misery, and division? The whiteface thing, if we're being honest, it's not really that creative. Putting a bunch of different races on your platforms to act ghetto and hood, that's not creative. Creating internet dating shows is not creative. You want to be unique and different and humorous? Stop copying and pasting everybody else's formula. Do something that separates you from the rest of the world. I'll be that. I don't mind it. That's crazy. Druski is not really that creative for me. He uses the same formula and foundations that everybody else is doing. I never thought that taunting black or white was ever really all that cool anyway. I have a huge problem with that. We should be trying to hold people accountable for their actions. Because at this point, if you're over the age of 21 and you still out here acting like you're in high school, you can't have a conversation with me. You don't deserve to be in the same setting as me or anybody that I sit down with. You still a child. You still find these things hilarious? You still find stuff like this funny? Like, seriously. What's the point? What's the point of having these conversations if you're going to just go back and support the shit that creates more problems? You want better, do better. You want to be an example, be an example. You want to be a child, be a child. You're going to get handled accordingly. On this side of the internet, I don't care if it's one person here or if it's two people here. One thing you're going to get for certain: we do not play bias. we don't act like children on this side of the internet. None of that kitty shit. Trolling, all that. They get blocked, banned, evicted. We're trying to elevate. You think I want to be around or instill ignorance into children? It's bad enough we don't do what we're supposed to be doing in our own communities, but you think that I want my platform to be subjugated to nothing more than talking down on another person? You think I want my platform to represent this political bullshit, this narrative that pins one side? I don't operate like that. The white face thing is not creative. Nothing about it is creative. Nothing about adults. Let me rephrase that. We're here to make money. Let's go ahead and get that out the way completely. We're here to entertain, but we're also like, I can't speak for everybody. I'm not here to be a zoo animal. I'm here to have real conversations and speak my mind how I see fit. This is my platform. I do what the hell I want over here. I do not want to be political. I am not trying to be popular. I am not trying to fit in with anybody in particular. I just want to be myself. You don't like it, you know where the door is. You dig? I'm not sitting here trying to say, oh, you white cracker, you. I'm not on that. My position is there's something wrong with you. Somebody programmed you to be hateful like that. And if you want to live like that, cool. But guess what? As a black man, I see the ignorance in you. I'm not going to respond the way that society wants us to respond. I'm going to handle this accordingly. I'm going to make sure you are held responsible for your ignorance. And you will be held responsible. I'm going to show you that black men and black women know how to progress without being what you assume or associate us with. Kai Sinai does not represent the black community. Druski does not represent the black community. There's a lot of people out here that don't represent the black community. There's a lot of people out here that don't represent the white community or the Mexicans or the Asians. Y'all pick sides. I don't pick sides. All I see is right and wrong. You will never, ever hear or see me entertain anybody that is ignorant. Not in the traditional ways. You know how I'm going to proceed with it? The legal way. I want to get paid. I want the coins. You ain't worth my time. You being a bigot or you being racist, that's energy that you gotta carry with you. You want to be scrolling and searching the web, looking for people to harass? That's your life. I'm not walking around with that. You can do that, but I'm gonna tell you, the way I'm going to handle it is not going to be the way that you typically see somebody in these situations handle it. You think it's going to be guns and knives and death and jail? Nah. See, when Druski did what he did, I laughed for a second and then I thought about it. I'm like, he could have done something else. Like I'm like really having to peel the layers back and really contemplate. I think that someone who is in a position such as he is with millions of followers, by now he would be trying to establish a place in history that goes beyond the circus theatrics. Like if you started doing skits and maybe you just started having fun and you're just young and wild and that worked for a while, that's what your audience like. At some point, cool, I get it. That's how the algorithm works. It feeds you what entertains you the most. That's cool. But at some point, once you hit a certain stride, I don't feel like you should still be doing the things that you're doing. It's like you maybe might want to start investing in areas that would be more beneficial to the spirit and to the mind and the development of your youth. And get them out the street. Like these TikTok reels and these little challenges, and start educating. Start showing a different side. All you want to be known for is theatrics. All you want to be known for is being goofy and being like somebody that you can't take serious. I think at some point when a person reaches a certain level in life, you should be dreaming bigger. Like bigger. If I start down here doing skits and I'm doing comedic relief, by the time I hit here, I should be in a business setting, an office setting. I should be like my mind won't allow me to continuously be around adults who still act like children. It don't sit well with me. It's weird. And you're weird if you think that's okay. I was raised around older people. I never wanted to be around anybody my age. Because people my age, usually like your mindset is stuck on playing hide and go seek and peekaboo, and you're jealous of a person's success. You're not thinking about how to make more money. You want to still be out here in the streets sleeping around. You want to, like, the mindset of a child, I couldn't get behind that. Adults always seem to be more together, more organized, more detailed. Their tolerance level for childish behavior was never something that was relatable to somebody under the age of X amount of years. I just could never be around anybody younger than me or my age, because people that are your age don't have respect for the things that they have. Young children, anybody under the age of 20, 19, you don't really have respect for your possessions or for the things of the world. All you can think about is yourself, your fun, your time outside in the street, bullying, joking around, clowning, wasting money, wasting time, wasting resources, getting into trouble, being destructive, breaking things. You don't care about education. You don't care about growth. You don't care about spirituality. You don't care about being a better man or a woman. You're not even thinking about how to be a better man or a woman. You're like, that's why I never could gravitate towards people that were my age or younger. And the older I got, the more I realized that there's some stuff that has to change, like drastically, really have to change. I will be the weirdo. I will be the guy that talks slow. I will be the guy that doesn't address things the way that everybody else does. I won't be the guy that gets up here and do all that goofy. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing everything that everybody else is doing. I am okay in my skin. I'm comfortable here. I'm very comfortable here. Are you comfortable where you are? Most of these men and women out here are filled with diseases, spiritual sickness. They're confused about if they're grown or they're stuck in between being grown and being a teenager. Y'all niggas is still fighting to decide if you are 23 or if you're 15. Y'all ain't even figured out your shit yet. But you got the nerve to be in these comment sections on these platforms, following behind and idolizing people who don't give a shit about you. You know what I have in common with most of these platforms? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I'm always bring God up in conversations. There's only but a few people who will do it. Also, I don't have no problem talking to myself. I absolutely have no problem with it. I find it delightful. Shit, most people don't listen anyway. Most people don't really listen or attend to these things with the ear and the eye that they should. Most people are just here to see people fight and create drama. You don't really want to see no change. The world is fucked up the way it is because people really don't want to see change. You don't. How are you going to tell me you think this is corny, but you think this is acceptable? How are you going to tell me that you don't have a problem sleeping with a 304 until you have a wife, but you're willing to put your body at risk to catch a disease or to transfer spirits to spirits to spirits to spirits to spirits? How can you say that you're this grown ass adult or this grown ass woman or you're this, but you are on social media 24 hours a day sharing memes? You're sharing memes talking about somebody's appearance, talking about how somebody dresses, talking about how somebody talks, talking about how many followers they got, talking about how, but you're an adult. You're grown. You got all this life experience, but you're the same ones that's causing people to commit suicide. The same people that's making it difficult for quality creators to thrive and survive and do what's necessary to bring something different to these bland, repetitive platforms. Everybody does the same thing. Skit, 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 skit. Red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill. Man versus woman, man versus woman, etc., etc. It's the same thing everywhere. Who's unique? Who is different? I do podcasting. I do short stories. I do poetry. I do virtual open mics. I do reaction videos. And on top of that, I don't talk about the same fucking thing every day that I post. You want change, but you idolize and worship people who never talk to you. You idolize people who promote danger, death, and destruction. Music with lyrics that are suggestive to create poison within the body and in the mind. Go out in the world, reenact their feelings that was amplified by the lyrics that was displayed and put into the music. But you worship them and you idolize them and you suck them off and you blow them in every single comment section. Y'all be up here crashing out and arguing and fighting over these people. They're cool, they're hip, they're popular. They got more views than you, they got more money than you, but they don't know you. They don't hang out with you. They don't buy you shit. They don't know your first or last name. Right.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
Come on. I'm corny. I'm corny. I don't have a million people watching me. I'm not the blue check guy. I ain't slapping bitches. I'm not calling bitches out their name. I'm not doing all that ignorant shit. So that makes me this and that and third. But you sitting up here listening to Future. Future got 20 kids. How the fuck he gonna tell somebody how to be something? Druski playing around with the white racial shit. Is that gonna make racism better? Is that gonna hold them accountable for being fucking stupid? No. But it's funny. It's something to laugh at. Exactly. Exactly. Most of the platforms don't even want to include God in nothing. A lot of them pay attention. How many times you hear him brought up in any discussions when it comes to anything? I'll be odd. I'll be different. That's cool. That is absolutely cool. But guess what? I would rather be this version of me than 20 versions of Kevin Hart. You know how many Kevin Harts are on social media? You know how many Ricky Smileys on social media? You know how many Jeff's Hilarious are on social media? Right. Make it make sense. I'd rather do this out of the mud. Slow cooking. Slow approach. Do my voice gotta be dark? Does it have to be deep for you to understand what I'm talking about? Must I talk low? Must I be blah 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 blah? Is that what you need? Not doing it. It's not that. It's like the shit is not that serious. I don't think he should be canceled. I don't even think that he should really be in too much trouble about it. But my issue is at a certain age, at a certain age, at a certain level of success. How can I explain this? It's almost like the Mick Foley effect. I don't know if anybody is a wrestling fan here. Mick Foley had 3 characters. Mick Foley, Mankind, and Dude Love. That man played 3 different characters. And my point is, with each character that he played, he brought something different for each one of them. A different level for every approach. The older you get, the better you should become. The older you get, the less you should be interested in some of the things that you are interested in. I'm not telling you not to keep that childlike part of you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, once you hit a certain age, you should not be trying to dress like you 15 years old. When you hit a certain age, you should either be married or you should be in a position where you are fellowshipping and developing the minds of people under you so that they don't end up dead or in jail, and they can help make the establishments around us better. As a man or a woman, the older you get, the better you should be getting at the same time. You should not be getting worse the older you get, my nigga. Like, real shit. You know, as much as I've been doing these things, I'm telling you, it's not like it's a lucrative business. The only way you're going to make this shit something is if you're determined and you're relentless and you don't give a fuck. You can't give a fuck about trolls. You can't give a fuck about grown ass adults acting like children, etc. You can't worry about none of that. You got to be yourself. You got to be dynamic. You got to be eccentric. And when you speak on things, you have to speak on things with passion. Do not, and I repeat, do not falter under the pressure of opinion, because everybody is not going to side with you. My only position here is to be myself and to give my honest testimonials, so to speak, because hopefully it'll help somebody. I don't think what Druski does overall actually helps people. Maybe he has other things that I don't know about that he's invested in. If that's the case, cool. I don't believe that you can do this and that, though. Put childish things away. I want to be better than what I am today. Heaven forbid I make anything from this. I want to take this further than what this is. I don't even have. Yeah, we just different. A lot of us are just different. You ain't making racism go away by mocking it. You're not making racism go away or making stereotypes go away by highlighting it to profit off of it. I think the shit is sad. Look at the dumbass niggas up here dressing like they dressing, ass cheeks out, making a fucking fool of yourself all over social media for a couple of bucks. That shit is embarrassing. White people who act ignorant the way they do, if I was white, I'd be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by trolls. I'm embarrassed by folks with these self-proclaimed titles. I'm embarrassed by them calling themselves influencers. And that's where I'm at. I don't really have much respect or love for them. I love them as humans. I don't really stand by them like that because to me, most of them they're just caveats for other objectives. They don't really care whatsoever about the quality of life that we live as a whole. They're only concerned about themselves. They've always only been concerned about themselves. And if they are helping people, they're doing it to get tax write-offs. They're doing it for publicity. They're doing it so that it appears to the rest of the world as if they are humanitarians. He was very charitable. He donated to people. Did he not? Cassie? A number of celebrities have given to the poor and all that. So what? I said this shit a few weeks ago. Just because you give or you do things that appear to be kind and generous, that does not mean that your heart is in the same place that your money is or your mouth is. You could give somebody $1 million and still behind closed doors you sleeping with infants and fucking children and shit. You can buy somebody a whole house, a whole new car, but you done had people assassinated to maintain your fame and fortune. You done got people fired and blackballed from the industry. You done lied on people to keep your position so that you could stay relevant to the world. That's what I'm talking about with stuff like what he does. It's not original. Congratulations. You made it. You got the money, you got the fame, you got the notoriety. That don't mean I can give you your flowers and still critique you. It doesn't mean that I hate you. I don't have no hate towards nobody, but I'm gonna call it for what it is. Nothing about that shit is unique. But that's my opinion. Now, again, I don't believe he should be canceled. There's people, even the guy himself thought the shit was funny. But I think it's distasteful. Unless you're in a comedy show and you're on stage performing, doing that shit outside of the comedy ring, me personally, I'm not really interested. That's just my opinion and my take. But look, am I wrong? Am I tripping? Like, did I miss the memo? Is there something that I'm not understanding within the confines of this bubble that we live in, where constantly highlighting women twerking and shaking their ass is a positive? Am I missing something? Am I missing something where we get a joke or we find humor and hilarity and people getting injured and hurt? I made a post and I says, like, something is wrong with us. We find too much enjoyment and pleasure out of people's misery. Nobody sees anything wrong with that. Nobody. Some stuff just ain't normal. There's nothing normal about that at all. There's nothing normal about laughing and smiling in somebody's face and being a snake and stabbing them in the back. There's nothing cute about adults still acting like they're in school. You're still trying to hold on to your youth in your younger years. If you don't have nothing to contribute to these conversations, don't speak. Don't say shit. If you don't like the content in which you are engaging with, do not support it. Do not watch it. If you are trying to be a contributor, contribute. I will look, man. I'm content. I'm all right. I go to sleep pretty well, knowing that I'm just being myself. Doesn't really make a difference how anybody feels about that. You know how I get down. I don't mind the discussions. I don't have no problem with that. I ain't entertaining ignorance, though. I will never entertain that. You don't get a word out of me. You're going to have to pay me for my attention. We need more diversity. We need more people not to care about the views and the likes, and we just need you to be you. Be content with you. That's enough.
Prime time is back.
That's enough. Sorry about that. I don't know why that popped up. Hold on. Be you. Stop worrying about how many impressions you got. Stop worrying about the algorithm. I ain't worried about it at all. I don't want to lie to nobody. I'm not about to sit here and tell you that it's cute and it's acceptable as an adult to dress up like a fucking white person and mock white people. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you it's okay to lie on a man and get him put in prison. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that body count don't matter. I'm not doing that. I would rather be just honest and transparent. Too many people lie to each other over here. Druski makes money off of exploiting the toxicity of a combination of cultures. I don't want it that way. Kendra G, she ain't no different. I don't want it like that. Fuck with me because of me being me. That way I know that I am in good graces. I can just, I don't have to step out of myself in order to relate. I'm not 12. I'm not 13. I'm not trying to relate to no children. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. My schedules is already set. The only thing I'm doing now at this point is preparing my uploads. But all of this stuff is done. I hope I could at least give my perspective and my point of view on how I feel about certain stuff that's going on out here. That's all I can do. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Everyone, thank you. Even if you was just here for a second, I appreciate it. I'm about to do what I do. I'm going to kick back, throw something on. I got to schedule out my week, my streams, my topics for this week. So if you have any topics that you want to see covered up here, hit me up. Send me a message, a DM, an email, everything down there at the bottom. You can follow me if you want. That's if you want. I never ask anybody for nothing. One thing you know about me, if you've ever been here before, I don't ask nobody for nothing. I appreciate y'all. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you need me, you know where I'm at. Do me a solid before you go, if you don't mind, of course. Hold on. Delay.
Push the goddamn button.
We are out. Peace.